Hey y'all, this message is for all women like me and all those who ever support women like me. Y'all, when the scales fall from your eyes, the enemy really be after us. People really be on assignment. On assignment, y'all. You have to understand it. It is true, and I believe it so much now that when the Lord has a calling over your life, or just if you are on your path to holiness, on your Christian walk, and you know the enemy knows that you're going to affect and influence people because the Lord assigns us to do that. And it is so true that he be sending people and be on a mission to throw monkey wrenches. You got to remain vigilant. I'm watching a interview, and this guy who used to be a warlock, he was just talking about his experience, and he mentioned the phrase Florida water. When he just used it on the interview, I was like, what? And I paused it and I looked it up. And I had already looked it up, y'all, but my eyes was closed. Y'all understand this. I had already looked it up. My eyes was closed to an extent. So here's what happened. As I explained before, I went through this season of my life where it was like hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. Where the money at? Get money. Where the money at? Get money. I've been a baker. I used to sell my items at events. So it's like, where the events at, right? And there was this one guy that I hooked up with. So I would use, I don't know how to describe this. Sometime in like 2023, I got kind of hooked up to this, I call them hippies, this hippie community where what I mean is like, the aesthetic. You can tell that their lifestyle and beliefs are kind of like not on the path of what you would call the norm. I don't know how to explain it, but just follow me. So it's kind of like, networking. When you meet one person at an event that you do, you meet other people at events, and then they have an event, and then they reach out to you. We all connected on social media. If I'm not connected directly to these certain people, it's like 1 degree of separation. They know how to find me, type thing, and vice versa. So like, I would be invited to different events to come and sell my items. So there was this one event. Now, I will say, so it was a live poetry event. That was the basis of it. But I will say the community of people that partake in this certain kind of event were, I knew they weren't my kind of people, in the sense of I doubted they're Christians. That's all. That's all. And you know what? That's not saying much, because a lot of people who identify as Christians, their lifestyle would not reflect what you would think of as a Christian. And I used to be one of them. So there's that. But anyway, in saying that, I'm like, oh no, they probably they seem like universe people. They seem like new age people, well, that's the same basically. So yeah, I was just like, okay, like ayahuasca people, and I got a yogi, and um I consult my shaman, and I like that's the type of, that's what they seem like. No proof, but you observe people. So anyway, I'm saying all of that, right? There was a live poetry event that they were doing, and I'm like, okay, I didn't really know what to expect for the kind of people that would be there, but there was a guy. And so I feel like my normal disposition is very welcoming to people. And I thought that was the reason why he approached me to talk to me. So I'm just, at my table, we waiting on the thing to start. We waiting on the people to get here. And he's selling some items as well. So he came up and approached me, and he just starts talking to me. Well, I didn't know about that. Y'all, I was not just tapped in with God back then, on a personal relationship level. Talk about discernment. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, like I would probably use a term like something right sit right in my spirit about him, but I wouldn't use the term like my discernment was telling me that, you know, stay away from this person. Like, don't take nothing he's trying to give you type thing. No, but even though my spirit was unsettled around this person, I was like, I didn't want to be that girl. I was concerned about how he would view me if I wasn't receptive to him. I'll put it that way. So we were talking, even though I didn't really want to talk. And I was happy and being nice and welcoming. That's a thing. I am a friendly person, but I've learned a thing about niceness. I'm going to just leave that there. So, like I was saying, I was just, okay. It was people pleasing. Like, I knew I didn't want to be involved in the conversation. I couldn't find a nice way to exit. So I allowed it to continue. And I allowed myself to be open enough to receive whatever he was trying to tell me. I didn't want to reject what he was trying to give me, because that wouldn't be nice. It was a lot of that. So he started showing, he was like, come on, let me show you what I'm selling. Mind you, like, I wasn't going to go do this. I wasn't going to go find out. He approached me, and I'm like all the way across from him in the corner. So it was almost like, I don't know. I don't know whether something spiritual happened. He was like, and he heard a voice like, go sell her this, go get it, give her this. But Anyway, so he was like, yeah, I'm selling Florida water. And I'm like, okay, what's that? And he was like, oh, you don't know what that is? You never heard of Florida water? I was like, no. And so he just started talking about, oh, you spray it, and it's just a refreshing mist that you can spray like in your home, or you can keep it with you if you feel like I don't remember the kind of words he used specifically, but he was basically saying if you feel something like negative in your energy, or to lighten up your surroundings, or whatever. So he sprayed it. He was like, see, smell it. And then I took an inhale, and I was like, he was like, doesn't it smell fresh? Like, isn't it like a refreshing feeling? I was like, yeah, it is. I mean, and it was. Okay. So not only was he wanting me to have it, he just wanted me to have it. He was like, oh, you don't have to pay for it. Like I should have felt like my bells of like, you should be suspicious of this, but it wasn't going off. Again, I was trying to be nice. I didn't want to reject it, and I was like, really, whatever. So in my niceness, I brought him like a lemonade. I was like, well, since you ain't charging for it, here's a lemonade type thing, as a trade instead of just as a freebie. Because my thing was like, he out here trying to make money. At least I give him something, right? Okay, so I went home with this stuff. Like it in the back of my head, it was bothering me, and I was just like, because I don't do things like that. I don't. I don't clear my I don't clear my energy. I don't clear my environment, my atmosphere. I don't do that. If I feel something's wrong, I pray. So like I done spoke about sage so many times. I don't do that either. Like so like it was like burning a hole in the back of my mind about it. So when I finally like unpacked all my things and I unpacked it, I just looked at it and I was like, you know what? This is me. Like, I be feeling so guilty if I feel like I'm past this. I would feel so guilty internally if I felt like it was something that would hurt somebody's feelings. Like I was literally thinking about like, oh, if he knew that I threw his stuff away, that would hurt him. There's no way, like he wasn't gonna know that I threw his stuff away. Like, come on. Like, at any rate, who cares? Like, so I thought about that for a moment, but then I was just like, okay, I'm throwing this away. I'm not using this. And that was the Lord. That was the Lord. Say I would have started feeling like, oh, this stuff is working. I need to get some more. Like, a trick of the enemy is a slippery slope. He'll use one little thing that you start doing, and it starts to become a ritual for you. Um, an item that you're using out of habit to do a thing, right? To serve a purpose. And then eventually you might feel like, oh, or you might hear about, oh, this works well with this, or you can do this with this, or you should try this. It's always more, 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 more. You need more protection. I only need one source of protection, first of all. But yeah, like, so I was just rethinking about, oh my gosh, like if I would have threw that away, if I would have decided I enjoyed doing this, if I would have decided that this thing is working, if I would have decided that, if I would have subscribed to it, I could have been led to doing more things outside of God, outside of God's power. And when I just heard the guy mention it on this interview, and I looked it up again, I like just Googled what is Florida water again. Bruh, that's why I say it's like my eyes was closed. I don't remember reading none of that the first time I looked it up. But today I found stuff about hoodoo. I found stuff about altars. I found stuff about, just all of this occultic stuff, this witchcrafty stuff in my Google search about what is Florida water. So y'all, be careful out there.